Hi, my name is Key Austin White, and I am the planner for the Bureau of Health Equity. Throughout February for Black History Month, we will highlight some of our community partners, state employees, and community members to talk about Black History Month, what it means to them, and the work they are doing in the community. Today, I will be interviewing Darrell Andrews, Coach D. He's an entrepreneur, community leader, author, and father of four.
hmm
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from, and
hmm
what do you do?
I'm from Syracuse, New York. I'm a native of upstate New York, but for the past 25 years, I've lived in Bear, Delaware. So I consider myself an official Delawarean. I'm a president and CEO of a consulting, training, and coaching firm, Darrell Andrews LLC. We're a global company where we focus on professional development, coaching, and training in the areas of leadership, what we call post-pandemic leadership. We do a lot of work around self-care development for organizations where we deal more with the psychology of self-care, team building, all those things that help advance the workplace in a positive way. But our start and our foray into this work was as a workforce development contractor in the state of Delaware. We were the first African American owned firm to get what they call a WIA, Workforce Investment Act contract. And we ran two of the most successful workforce programs probably in the country based upon the Department of Labor. So we helped a lot of people land employment, retain employment, do well in life, and very excited about that beginning stage that started in Delaware.
Thank you. How did you get into this profession? What inspired you to get into this profession?
What inspired me to get into this profession was actually the impact that it had on my mother. My mother was a beneficiary of workforce development many, many years ago in the 70s. As a result of their efforts, we moved from poverty and projects in Syracuse, New York, to owning our own home. Traveling. My mom started working for an airlines. We started traveling, seeing things. So I realized early in life that workforce development is a game changer, and it can impact the lives of people in such a way it can transform them if done right. So it was my personal experience, to be honest with you, Kiana, that got me into it.
Did your cultural background impact your entry into this profession?
Very much so. Just as alluded to a few moments ago, I saw my mother and many others who were part of our community, impacted, and I can always say via education and workforce. And so as a young kid, I was always perceptive. I can see things and sense things. And I sensed way back then, wow, this must be something because my mom and many of her friends who went through these programs and was going through the training and development and job placement and job readiness, their lives changed. So as I grew up and went to college, I'm a graduate of an HBCU, Cheney University, and went on and did some corporate stints. My passion was always to go back and do this kind of work. So I left corporate to do this work, and we've been able to duplicate the efforts in the lives of a lot of people, as well as now, empowering the corporations, agencies, and organizations through professional development. But yeah, it was very much my personal experience that empowered me to do this.
What does Black History Month mean to you?
I don't know if I'm going to say it's going to sound interesting to some people, but it's just my own perspective. There would be no American history if it wasn't for Black history. Black History Month is a recognition of the efforts of people who really put their hands to the plow to impact our nation in a very positive way, be it on a large scale or a small scale. When you think about the days of, I don't like to mention this too much, slavery, it was the slaves that were building and repairing and doing all of the work from an infrastructure standpoint to help build our nation. So to me, that's a part of the story that never gets told. But if it wasn't for those folks who sacrificed their lives for this, I don't know if we would be where we are today. So it really has a personal meaning for me. I go deep into my thoughts with this stuff, but that's how I see it. There would be no American history if it wasn't for Black history.